Let's talk about Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Saint Ignatius founded the Order of Jesuit Priests in 1540. The Jesuit priests are an order which focus on missionary work, educational and social justice work. They take vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. And Jesuit priests have done a lot for the world. For example, they've opened up many universities and schools all over the world, including Georgetown University, Fordham, as well as Boston College. They found the cure of malaria. They developed the Gregorian calendar, and much, much more. And so we're talking about St. Ignatius of Loyola. Ignatius was born in 1491 to a noble family in Spain. As a young boy, I would say around the age of 16, he was sent to be a page for the treasurer of Castile. And, you know, in that time, young men and young women went to court to, I guess, to find their spouses and, you know, socialize and all this, right? So Ignatius was in court and he was doing the things of young men of that time. And after his stage or his internship at court with the treasurer of Castile, he joins the military. And so now in 1521, he's in the Battle of Pamplona between Spain and France. And Ignatius gets severely injured during this battle. And I believe his leg was shattered by a cannonball. So he gets sent back home to his castle. And while at home, he asks for books he asks for like romance novels, right? Things he can read to preoccupy himself while he recuperates. Well, he's told that they don't have books on romance in that castle, but what they do have is books on the saints and the life of Christ. So with nothing else to do, he starts to read these books. And so now while he's on bed rest, he develops two projects, right? Two projects, two thoughts that sort of keep him busy while he heals. And these projects were about what he would do once he's healed. So the first project that he had, or the first thought, idea, desire that he had, was to pursue a girl that he was in love with, and he was making plans of how once he's healed, he would, you know, go after her and win her heart and all of these things, right? Probably why he wanted the romance novels. He starts reading the books on the saints, and he starts thinking to himself, well, I can also live like the saints. I can do what they've done, right? And I can do it better, right? And so now he develops another project of what he would do once he's healed. So he starts making plans to become a saint, right? To live a life of poverty and chastity and obedience to the Lord, right? Now, thinking about both of these projects, both of these thoughts, right? He realizes that while thinking about them, he's happy. He feels peace, he's excited, it gives him great pleasure, right? But then what he notices is that when he's done thinking about them and he goes into his regular life, he's now back into his reality, how he felt was different, right? So when he was thinking about the girl, he's happy. When he's done thinking about the girl and he's now in his reality, he becomes sad, dry, discontent, right? But when he thinks about becoming a saint, he's happy. And then when he's done thinking about becoming a saint and is now back in his reality, he's still happy, right? He's able to go through his daily task, maybe his daily physical therapy, joyfully, right? And he feels fulfilled, right? And so he began to ask himself, like, why this difference, right? And so he realized that what was causing the difference was that one was for his ultimate good, right? And the other was not, right? It was for his bad, right? And so once he's healed, he decides to go with the project of becoming a saint, because he discerned that was his calling from the Lord, right? And so he leaves the girl. He goes off to Manresa, another place in Spain, where he lives in silence, and he takes the time to put down into words, like pen and paper, the spiritual exercises, right? How to discern between the good spirit and the bad spirit. So Ignatius realizes that there are 3 steps to the spiritual process, right? The first is to be aware. Be aware of what is going on within you. Be aware of your thoughts, your desires, right? And once you become aware of those thoughts and desires, then you seek to understand them, right? Where it's coming from, right? It's coming from the good spirit or the bad spirit. And once you've understood and you're able to differentiate between the good and the bad, then you take action, right? You accept the good and you reject the bad.